Hello, welcome to DIY with Wayne. Today I'm here at my office and I had a really lousy morning. This machine right here is a plotter, and I use the plotter to cut vinyl for signs, and I'll show you a little bit more of that later. But I was about 70 or 80% through cutting some vinyl for a sign, and a part on my plotter broke. And today we're going to show you how I fixed that part. Now, we use JB Weld Plastic Bonder. I've used that product before on a video. Actually, I was fixing another part on a different machine here at my office when I used it. But in this particular case, the part is real small. And what I'm worried about and why this video is different, the area of adhesion for the glue is rather small. And I'm afraid that it just won't hold well. So what I'm going to be showing you that's different in this video is after I glue it, I'm going to show you how I reinforce the glue joint, so I don't have to worry about it breaking again in the future. This is a view of my plotter. We're going to zoom in and show you the part that's broken. It's actually the part that holds the little knife that actually cuts the vinyl. And if you watch toward the end of the video, we'll show you the part reinstalled after the repair, functioning properly, cutting vinyl. Now I'm going to start with the JB Weld Plastic Bonder. You just twist the end off, pull it off, and then you're ready to squirt out some glue. That'll be more than adequate to get started. Put the cap back on here to seal up what's left. And they send you a little stick that you can use for mixing. We'll mix this up. Now that's a lot more than I'm going to need. But we're going to start with that because that's what squirted out when it started. I've also used this once before in another video, probably close to 2 years ago, on a part on another one of my machines. And that part is still working just like a new part. So I was very pleased with how it worked the last time I used this particular JB Weld Plastic Bonder. So we'll see how it works this time. And what I'm going to start out by doing, I'm going to put a little bit of glue where the part actually broke, in the area that it broke. I'll try to point at that here in a minute for you. And then after it sets a little bit, I'm going to reinforce that area a little bit more because there's just not a lot of space there for glue. Obviously I got a lot more here than I need. Make sure I'm getting this in the right spot here. Can't hardly tell I've used any glue out of that little pile, but I'll do that, press the parts together, and I'm going to let them sit there. Now let them sit there for a little while until it dries some. Then I'll move it. I need to make sure things are lined up right. Let me put this screw back in here. Like so. Probably should. Actually, I think that screw is causing things not to line up just right, so I'm going to take it back out. I'm going to line these parts up as best I can, and I'm going to let it sit there and dry a little bit. And then I'll show you how I'm going to reinforce it before I put it back in the machine. At this point, I got the first little area glued back together. And I don't have my Dremel tool here. If I did, I would cut a little bit of a groove right down through there because that's where I'm going to reinforce this. But I've taken my knife and I've scratched a nice little groove there with my knife, like so. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of paper clip, I'm going to cut a piece of it to fit right in there, and then I'm going to put the glue over and around that, and that will help reinforce this spot right there where the break is at. So that's what I'm going to do now. Now here you can see I've adjusted or cut my piece of paper clip to fit in that little groove that I carved out with my pocket knife. So I'm going to take my epoxy that I've mixed up and I'm going to put some in the groove to get it started in there. So I get it in the groove good. Then I'm going to take my piece of paper clip. I'm going to lay it right in there so that groove is at. Okay, right there, it just settled into that groove. Right there. I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to put some glue over the top of it. Like so. And I think I'm going to leave it right there like that until it sets up good. And then I'll clean up a little bit of the glue around the edges. And that'll do a lot to help strengthen the break in the plastic. One thing I want to caution you about with this JB Weld Plastic Bonder is how long it takes it to cure. This little spot right here has been mixed up a little over 15 minutes. According to the package, it says it sets in 15 minutes. I'm not sure I would call that set. You certainly couldn't work with it though. It says on the package that you can sand it in 30 minutes. This spot over here has been mixed up well over an hour and it's still tacky. You can't sand that. You can trim it with a knife, but you can't sand it because it's still tacky. I do like this stuff, but just keep in mind you're going to need to give it more time to set up thoroughly than what the package indicates. This is my part I finished repairing, and I did add a little piece of paper clip on both sides after carving out a little bit of a groove for it to set down in, because I felt like that little groove would give it more strength. And if you have a part like this, before you put the stuff on the outside edges and things like this to reinforce it, make sure that where it's going to be installed in the machine, that reinforcing area that sticks up a little higher is not going to cause you trouble. So before you do that, just make sure it's not going to cause you issues with reinstalling the part. And also, you may notice there's a little extra glue right in this area that also helps reinforce that crack where it was broken right across there. So all these different things help to reinforce the part that I'll be putting back into my printer, or excuse me, my plotter. Now just to give you an idea of what this part does, there it is installed on my plotter, and it holds the pin that holds the knife that actually cuts vinyl. And I screw this down and that holds it in tight in place, and it had broken right there where my fingernail's at. So now let's turn this plotter on and see if it works. Okay, there's the plotter doing its job. I know you can't see anything, but it actually is cutting the vinyl. And I'll show you in a jiffy what it looks like when it's finished. Just to give you an idea of what a plotter does, basically it just cuts this vinyl and then you take out the parts you don't want. And that part that I repaired basically holds the knife that runs around these letters and cuts everything out. And I was doing this, making this sign for a local housing development that's got a community event coming up next week, I think. So making a sign for them, and my plotter broke while I was working on it. So there you go. Of course, it's upside down to you, but it says community event, and that's what the part does. So there you have it. This is our finished product. We got our part finished, we got it reinforced, and finished making the sign. And this, just so you know, this white part down here at the bottom, that is actually part of the sign. It's supposed to be like that. that's covered with dry erase vinyl. So the customer, has their sign for community event, they can, with a dry erase marker down here, they can write a date or whatever they want to and then change it over time. But anyway, it's a good fix. The part works, working fine. Just like to say, we would really appreciate it if you click like on our video and subscribe to our channel. Those things help us grow and bring you more videos. So at this point, just like to say thank you for visiting. Do it yourself with Wayne, and we hope you have a great day.